Hello, Minnesota whiskey fanatics. It's day 16. Today is a good one. We've got Willett 4-year rye. This is Willett's own distillate. I'm looking forward to it. I have to say that I was fortunate enough to get a hold of one of the family estate bourbons, a pick earlier this year, and it was fantastic. And that one was one of their own distillates, 6 years old. High rye too, I believe. But I want to thank David Heldman for getting us this. And here we go. Some good stuff. It's grassy. I don't want to be that shameless plug, but well, let me put it this way. It tastes a lot like Tennessee rye that I bottle. Quite a bit. Quite a bit. Let's see if I've got some laying around. It's bad when you run a distillery. You've got bottles everywhere and you have no clue where yours are. Found it. Here we go. This is, here we are if you want to see the color. That is Tennessee rye, made in Tennessee. I will tell you, I know what you're thinking. Yes, Tennessee does make rye whiskey now. Yes, it's in a couple of brands that are on the shelf. Riverset Rye, I think, is a brand name, and that's proof down to 93. I also know that Smooth Ambler Old Scout Rye, or whatever they call it, Smooth Ambler Rye, will be Tennessee sourced rye very soon. Also, shameless plug, Obtainium Whiskey did bottle single barrel, barrel proof Tennessee rye. So let's compare it. Now, the reason why I brought this up, and the reason why I bottled this in the first place, was because of how grassy of a rye it was. 4.5 years old, 4.5 to 5. We've got 2 barrels bottled. But yield was like, you're talking 50-60%. Super, super low yield rye whiskey for the age. So you got some oaky notes, but what was dominating was this grassy, earthy, oaky flavor. And the same thing you get out of that Willett. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're somewhat different directions, but this one's tame, more tame than this one. But I would say if you proof this down, added a few drops of water, you're right there. Oh yeah, definitely more spicy, but surprisingly similar. Sorry. So I won't bore you guys anymore. Make sure you check out, like I said, Riverset, the new Smooth Ambler Old Scout Rye will be the same. I don't know if they're going to do 99 proof, barrel proof or what. But like I said, that's going to be very, very similar in flavor profile. I should also mention, no, not to my knowledge, is Smooth Ambler doing MGP rye anymore. It's going to be the Tennessee. But yeah, those two are very, very similar to the Willett. This is good stuff. Great for 4 years old. I mean, it doesn't have that young, bland, raw sort of grain note to it. Could definitely use a bit of oak. could use a bit more age, but that's pulling hairs. And for $47 for a rye whiskey, the only other thing that I would have over this, actually there's a few at $45. Number one that I would have over this at the price point, 45 to 55, let's say, is Pikesville. Pikesville is so good. Also a big fan of Rittenhouse, but obviously one's less aged than the other. I'm trying to think. Another rye whiskey that I would have. Michter's is another good one. That one can be hard to find. You might even be able to get some of the older age-stated Bullet rye around this price. Could be wrong. Maybe find it on sale. But, yeah, good stuff. Like I said, they do a good job. I'm looking forward to seeing what Willett does in the future. I would like to see a little bit more sourcing from them. I think it'd be cool if they kept their contracts going with Heaven Hill, MGP. I mean, they've sourced all over the place, but the idea of purchasing barrels from other distilleries, sitting and letting them age in your warehouse, and then bottling them, under your own label. Although I would say that having some transparency and writing on the label where it came from would be better, but that very idea that made Willett famous is one that I took a lot of inspiration from. So I'll leave you guys at that. Have a nice night. And